Okay, here we go. So, you seem to be saying that you were a little overwhelmed with the amount of material that you were getting. Um, so, what I've decided to do today is send something a little simpler, but still that'll be beneficial um, for your advancement. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the House of the Rising Sun. I sent you a chord sheet, and let me tell you what's on that chord sheet. The first line is the introduction that we've already talked about, where you're doing those arpeggios. Etc., etc. Okay? So, but then the next three lines are basically where we get into the body of the song. And the way the song is set up, it just repeats those three lines over and over again until the very end of the song. So you have the intro, which hopefully you've been practicing. Now remember, you can go and slow down the video speed and attempt to play along once you feel that you have a grasp on the chord changes, and I would encourage you to do that. And as usual, always make sure that you have the video playing loud enough so that you're able to play along with it. Whenever you're playing along with the video, try to set the volume so that you are merely an accompanist to the video. So you do not want to be out in front of the video, because then you might lose your time and you might rush or fall behind. So you want to have the video as you're playing it to be the dominant sound that you hear, and then you just try to adjust your playing to keep up with the video. So the body of the song, those three lines, basically just repeats over and over again till the end of the song. And at the very end of the song, there's just a couple of chords that get repeated once or twice, and we'll talk about those later. So when the vocal starts, the chord progression changes slightly from the intro. You can see just by looking at it, if you line them up, you have A minor, C, D, F, A minor, and then you get to the last three measures. In the intro, it's E, A minor, E. In the vocal, it's C, then E again. Each of these chords that I've written out represents a full measure of music. When you're playing House of the Rising Sun, it's basically in 6/8. You can count it in 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. You can count it like that, or you can count it just in twos, but I would encourage you to count it in 6. It has more of a 6 feel to it. So when you're playing through it, slow it down enough where you can keep an even spacing between the measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay? Just find the speed that works for you. I encourage you to set a metronome in order to practice keeping your tempo even. So practice this entire thing using the arpeggios. Then what happens, if you listen to the entire song, you'll hear the organ solo come in after several verses. Now when they get to the organ solo, what the guitar player does is he begins to strum the chords in an even 6 beats like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's another thing that you can practice, and all he's doing is downstrokes in the right hand to play those 6-beat phrases. So that's something additional you can practice without, once again, like I said, I'm trying to keep this a fairly simple lesson so that you need to let me know how everything else is coming, and I'm just kind of responding to your last Marco Polo, where I got the indication that maybe you're finding this possibly a little overwhelming, the amount of stuff that I'm giving you to work on. But keep in mind that the goal, when we have these lessons, the goal isn't to accomplish what we're talking about necessarily in the period of a week. Something could take a month to accomplish, it could take 6 weeks to accomplish. The idea of giving you multiple things to work on is just to increase the variety, because it's good to have a variety of things to work on. Otherwise, you can kind of go on autopilot and not really learn anything. The other thing that can happen is you can get bored. So pace yourself, decide, I'm going to practice a half hour today, and maybe devote 10 minutes to this, 10 minutes to something else, and 10 minutes to a third thing, whatever it is. But it's actually a good idea to keep the variety up. It causes you to work on different techniques. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through what's on the sheet here one time, just to give you something to play along with. I'm going to play it fairly slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play line 1, and then I'm going to play the body of the song that we talked about. I'm going to play it one time with the arpeggios, and then I'm going to play it one time through with the strums, just to give you something to play along with to practice both the arpeggios and the strums. Okay? So here we go. I'll play it about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. repeat. The F chord that I'm using, I'm just using I'm not using the bar, I'm just playing I'm kicking out the bottom string with my thumb. You can actually press on the F if you want to, I'm not bothering to do that. And then if you were to tab it out, starting from the A string, it would be 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. You can use whatever F chord you want there. I'm just letting you know which one that I was using. So there you go. Hopefully that is not too overwhelming. And let me know that you got it and how everything else is coming. And we'll talk to you later.